In the heart of the African savanna, where the golden sun bathes the land in warmth and the wind whispers secrets through the tall grasses, lived a small creature with a shell on his back and a mind sharper than a lion's claws. This is the tale of the clever tortoise, whose wisdom and wit were known far and wide. The story begins with a grand gathering of the animals in the center of the savanna. The lion, the mighty king, has called for a meeting to discuss an important matter. All the animals, from the towering elephant to the tiny ant, have gathered around, curious about what the king has to say. Lion, with his golden mane shining in the sunlight, stands atop a large rock. He clears his throat, and the savanna falls silent. My fellow animals, Lion roars, I have heard rumors that there is a creature among us who believes he is smarter than all the rest. Some say he is even wiser than me, the king. The animals murmur among themselves, wondering who Lion could be talking about. Tortoise, sitting quietly at the edge of the crowd, smiles to himself but says nothing. Lion continues, to prove my wisdom and maintain my rightful place as king, I challenge this so-called clever creature to a contest of wits. If he can solve the riddle I present, I will bow to his wisdom. But if he fails, he must leave the savanna forever. The crowd gasps in shock. Who would dare to challenge the mighty lion? Tortoise, still calm and composed, steps forward. I accept your challenge, King Lion, he says in a steady voice. Lion narrows his eyes, surprised by Tortoise's boldness. Very well, he growls. Here is your riddle, I am always hungry, I must always be fed. The finger I touch will soon turn red. What am I? The animals fall silent, trying to solve the riddle themselves. Hare scratches his head, hyena chuckles mischievously, an elephant ponders deeply. But Tortoise remains unfazed. Without missing a beat, Tortoise replies, the answer is fire. It is always hungry, must always be fed, and anything it touches turns red. The animals cheer, and Lion, though begrudgingly, nods in approval. You are indeed wise, Tortoise, Lion admits. But I have another challenge for you. If you succeed, you will not only win my respect, but you will also be rewarded handsomely. Lion challenges Tortoise to a race, thinking his slow speed would finally put an end to his cleverness. The animals are excited, knowing that Tortoise has never been the fastest creature. Hare, with his swift legs, volunteers to race against Tortoise, confident that he will win. The race is set to take place at sunrise the next day, from one end of the savanna to the other. As the animals disperse to prepare, Tortoise quietly hatches a plan. That night, while Hare is sleeping soundly, dreaming of his victory, Tortoise visits each of his tortoise relatives who live along the race route. He positions them at different points along the path, instructing them to emerge as soon as Hare approaches and say, here I am, Tortoise, ahead of you. Tortoise knows that Hare, with his overconfidence, will never suspect the trick. The next morning, the race begins. Hare dashes off, leaving Tortoise far behind, or so he thinks. As Hare reaches the first checkpoint, he is startled to see Tortoise already there, calmly walking ahead. How did you get here so fast? Hare exclaims, but Tortoise simply smiles and continues on. Hare speeds up, determined to catch up, but at every checkpoint, he finds Tortoise ahead of him. The faster Hare runs, the more confused and frustrated he becomes. The other animals, watching the race, are equally amazed and baffled. By the time Hare reaches the finish line, panting and exhausted, he sees Tortoise already there, waiting patiently. The animals cheer, and Lion, for the first time, is at a loss for words. Lion, now both impressed and humbled, admits defeat. Tortoise, you have outwitted me not once, but twice. You are indeed the wisest in the savanna. As promised, I bow to your wisdom and grant you a reward of your choosing. Tortoise thinks for a moment and then asks for something simple but valuable. I ask that all the animals in the savanna live in peace, and that no creature, great or small, is ever judged by their appearance or underestimated because of their size or speed. Lion, moved by Tortoise's wisdom and humility, agrees. From this day forth, let it be known that Tortoise is not only wise but also kind. May we all learn from his example. As the animals celebrate Tortoise's victory, Hyena, who has been watching quietly from the sidelines, sneaks away. He approaches Lion later that night with a sly grin. King Lion, hyena whispers, "There is something you should know. Tortoise did not win the race by speed or wit alone, he had help from his relatives." Lion, who is no longer angry but rather amused by Tortoise's cleverness, chuckles. "Let it be, hyena. Even in his trickery, Tortoise has taught us a valuable lesson. True wisdom lies not in brute strength or speed, but in the ability to think, to plan, and to bring others together for a common purpose." Hyena, seeing that his plan to start trouble has failed, slinks away, grumbling under his breath. The story concludes with Tortoise walking slowly back to his home, his shell gleaming in the fading sunlight. As he moves along, the other animals greet him with respect, no longer seeing him as just a slow, small creature but as a symbol of wisdom and wit. The savannah returns to its peaceful rhythm, with the animals now living in harmony, inspired by the cleverness and humility of the small but mighty tortoise.